What's up, YouTube? I want to start off by saying I've been wanting to do gear and video reviews now for quite some time. Haven't really got into it yet, but what really motivated me was I was doing some research for a review on the Flyye JPC and multicam with multicam webbing for a buddy of mine who was ordering one. He didn't want to shell out, the coin for a Crye Precision JPC. So, in doing my research, I could only find one true review, comparison review of the Flyye JPC with multicam webbing compared to the Crye Precision JPC. On top of that, right after he ordered the Flyye JPC, Semapo Gear came out with their NJPC, which is a Navy jumpable plate carrier. And I had to order it. I couldn't wait for it. I've been waiting for them to make a multicam one forever now. So that one just came in a week ago, which is right here. So here we have the Flyye JPC replica in size extra large. My buddy's a big guy, so we'll go over sizing as part of the review. My Crye Precision JPC in size large, and the Semapo Gear NJPC, which actually surprised me. I expected it to be a size medium, but it was a size large plate. So I'm actually really happy with that because it fits identical to the way my Crye fits. So I'm going to go over these two first, and we'll go over this one last. Alright, starting with the front. We're going to go with build quality first. The biggest number one difference between the Flyye and the Crye is the main body build material. Flyye decided to go, for who knows why, what reason, with 1000D Cordura over the 500D, which is what Crye uses. Honestly, it's not a huge deal. You're already dealing with a very lightweight plate carrier, so that little extra material for the front of the plate bag and the rear of the plate bag, not a huge, a huge deal in my perspective. The next thing that I really noticed, the big selling point for my buddy, well, I should say more for me, I kind of talked him into this one, was to not get their tan webbing, go with their multicam webbing, because they actually use made in the USA licensed multicam webbing, the same stuff that Crye uses. So it really makes it look a lot closer. Size-wise, like I said, he's a big guy, so he got an extra large. Fits him real good. He was using, he took the step up from a Condor MOPC to, something a little more high-speed looking. That MOPC looked real small on him. This thing actually looks like it fits him pretty well, especially once he fills out these cummerbunds. I think it'll look a lot better. Size-wise, like I said, I'm a size large. Size large fits me perfect. I actually started out, this isn't my first Crye JPC, I actually got a real good deal on a small Crye, and that one was tiny. It was like a sports bra on me. So very glad I went with, I was able to trade somebody on Dev T6 my size small for a size large, exact same condition. Next biggest thing, we'll move up from there, is the Hypalon material and the shoulder pads. Honestly, this was my biggest concern with Flyye. I really expected the Hypalon material to be really chintzy feeling, almost, kind of like the TMCs is like a shitty fake leather. I was surprised. It's actually almost spot on to the Crye Precision Hypalon. The biggest difference, thickness is there, perfect. The biggest difference is kind of the feel of it. Crye has a real soft, textury rubber, where the Flyye, it's just not quite as rubbery, but the cut is right, the material's right, the thickness, everything else. I was really surprised by that. Moving up from there, we'll go to their multicam stretch fabric shoulder pads. They used the exact same material. Perfect. The only thing that they got wrong on these was the Velcro for the routing, the cable routing and hydration routing. Crye's is actually this like micro Velcro, which is dual-sided, where Flyye just used 2 pieces of regular hook and loop Velcro. Just it's only one-sided. It's kind of a disappointment, but I mean, you know, you're getting Flyye. You're not expecting Crye quality out of it, so it's not a huge, you know, it's not going to deter you from buying it by any means. From there, we will go to the cummerbund. Actually, we're going to go to the flap first, the front flap. Both of them have the, you know, both of them. The Flyye has the proper angled cut here, where it's not just a straight line for the attachment, which is what Crye did, which I really like. When I had a 6094, I felt like that was going to be a high wear point on the carrier. Like there's a high potential for ripping out once you've stuffed 3 mags into the kangaroo pouch. As far as the divider goes, they sewn it perfectly. One of my biggest gripes when I bought my Semapo Gear NJPC was they completely screwed up the location of these dividers, mag dividers, inside the kangaroo flap. They were way too close. You had to wrestle this middle mag in, but as you can see, these bad boys just drop in and out, no problem. Next we'll go to the underneath the flap. So we open it here. And I apologize, guys, for having all of my vests, you know, fully loaded. It's too much work to pull off 15 pouches on 3 vests just for a 5 to 10 minute review. Alright, as you can see, Crye's webbing is more of a tan khaki color. Or Crye, I'm sorry, Flye's webbing is this kind of muddy brown, this tan, almost a coyote but not quite webbing. These square panels are pretty accurate. You can see the stitching marks. I don't know if you can see them on camera too well, but they're pretty close. There's a few different pieces of stitching that are missing on the Flyye, but they both have the grommet in the bottom for drainage. The biggest difference in the cummerbund is pretty obvious right here. For some reason, Flyye used 2 separate pieces of Velcro here, where Crye is just the one big square. I don't know why they chose to go this route. I have an AOR1 6094 by Flyye, and honestly, it's one big square. Exactly like this. I don't know why they went with this route. But you rip the cummerbund open, you can see it's got the fold over there, so you've got a nice edge to actually get a hold of when you're tearing it off. You've got your 2 big squares, strip across the top, strip across the bottom, with 5 actual molly spacing right here for hanging, I don't know what you want to hang there, maybe a groin protector or something. There's that. On Crye, you have the exact same thing. You've got the 5 loops there, 1 big square, and the one across the top. Alright, we'll go to the inside of the plate bag here next. So, if you look at the material again, this center strip is Cordura on both of them, and then they have the multicam stretch fabric on the edges here, and then this kind of spacer mesh for ventilation and whatnot. The biggest difference here is it's pretty obvious. Crye's is a lot bigger mesh itself. The Flyye is like real tiny mesh, and it really only seems like one layer or a very thin layer, where Crye's you actually have some kind of sponginess to it. Stretch material, exactly the same. One of the things that I've noticed, which you can see here, is I don't think Crye really has a specific pattern direction for inside these plates or for the shoulder pads. I mean, if you look at the shoulder pads, they're both going in this, vertical